gosh, it's a busy time of the year, isn't it? With Christmas parties and things to get organised. For example, today here at Rhema Media, we're having a street party. So we've invited the entire neighbourhood. We've invited the block. There's barbecues being heated up even as we speak. And yeah, it's a busy old time of the year, isn't it? The importance, though, of in amongst juggling all of this busyness is not dropping the ball on some of the more important stuff, not smashing the Christmas baubles in our haste to be ready for Christmas Day. Joining us on the program now, Executive Director of FamilyLife New Zealand, Wynand Jacobs. Wynand, kia ora, good morning. Thanks for your time.
Kia ora, Andrew. Good morning. Always good to be here.
With Christmas, it seems like, you're always trying to juggle. You've got to squeeze more social engagements and things to do. It takes you a lot longer to go anywhere. And if you wanted to find a park, then allow extra time. It's easy in amongst the rush to for things to get squeezed out, right?
That's right. Look, I've been thinking about this idea of juggling for a while now, and we often use that term. We don't even think about it when we use it. We often say, someone asks us, how is it going? And we say, well, we're just juggling a few things right now. Well,
Yep.
What does that really mean? What does it mean to be juggling a few things? If you think about it, juggling is the art of keeping a number of balls in the air at the same time.
Yep.
Right. So if you picture the clown at the circus juggling balls, and maybe he's got 3 balls up
Yep.
in the air, and then he adds another one.
Wow.
Now he's got 4 balls, and then he adds another one. Maybe now there's 5 balls, and he's juggling away, right? And if you've ever seen the act where the clowns are juggling, and maybe they're juggling together, and the one is throwing additional balls or additional pins or whatever he's juggling
Yeah.
at them, and the crowd is sort of waiting in anticipation. When is he going to drop the balls? When is
Yeah.
this whole juggling act going to come tumbling down,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now, here's the thing. In life, we often have multiple balls that we're needing to juggle. Like you say, when it's Christmas time, it's catching up with, families, sometimes multiple families. Sometimes some people actually don't have any family plans for Christmas, and that can be a lonely time.
Yeah.
But especially, and I want to think about, like, at FamilyLife, we always talk about building godly homes.
Mm-hmm.
And how do we prioritize juggling and keeping the balls in the air that matter most? One of our phrases we use at FamilyLife is pursue what matters most.
Yeah.
Now, it's one thing juggling 3 or 4 or 5 balls,
Yeah.
right? But one thing that you don't want to do is you don't want to juggle the wrong balls.
Mm-hmm.
A good friend of mine once said this to me, and it's something I would never forget. He said that in life you have balls that you're juggling, different balls, and different types of balls, all right? Now, I actually have a ball here with me today in my home office. It's my son's little rubber basketball.
Okay.
And so if I bounce this ball on my desk, it hops right back into my hand, right? And that's the same for the things we're juggling in life.
Mm-hmm.
Some things we are allowed to drop, and it will just bounce right back up again.
Mm-hmm.
But there are other balls in our life that are more like glass balls. Maybe not crystal balls, but those are the types of balls that if you drop them, something's going to break.
Yeah.
And I think we'd be wise in understanding and knowing which is which.
Yeah, that's so good, really, because, not all of the things that we're committed to at this time of the year are as important as the others. And I suppose in particular with those family relationships, perhaps it's easy to take for granted the people that we see every day and go, oh, yeah, I've got all this pressure on, hoping that they will understand. But if they are the priority, if they are this precious crystal sphere, shall we say, then that needs to be treated differently than just being thrown up in the air with all of the ones that are perhaps less of a priority.
Yeah, that's right. And I mean, sometimes we can live under the illusion that our family will understand. They've already said yes. They've already committed to me. Like, we can neglect them. We can leave what's left over for them.
Mm.
And that's not true. In fact, if we keep doing that long enough, resentment might settle into the relationship. And when you reach that place, it's actually really hard to untangle and to get back to a great space.
Yeah.
At our weekend to remember, we talk about the idea of spinning plates.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
very similar to the idea of juggling. It's about the plates that you're trying to keep up in the air at the same time. But I think we'd be wise in just understanding what really matters, like what are the things that are really important. And I would say, prioritizing each other, like if you're married and maybe you've got kids, that's a busy season of life.
Yeah.
Are you making time for each other, just the two of you as a couple, amidst the craziness of taking care of the kids' needs? Are you constantly expressing your gratitude towards your spouse?
Yeah.
Are you treating your spouse like one of these balls you're juggling that it can just fall and you assume it will bounce right back up again?
Yeah.
Or are you maybe this close from dropping something that's actually, going to be a big mess all over the floor
Yeah.
if it drops? What are the priorities that we actually just need to set straight? And this is a good time of year to do that. A lot of people are winding down, or maybe not winding down, maybe ramping up,
Yeah.
to get everything done for Christmas.
Yeah.
But then comes the holiday, then comes the new year. Isn't this a good time to actually make a list and decide for yourselves, what balls am I juggling, right, in life in
Yeah.
general?
Yeah.
And which of these balls do I maybe want to identify as rubber? And which of them do I want to identify as glass?
Yeah.
Meaning,
Yeah.
when I am unable to do it all and juggle all the balls, what are the balls that I can either decide to just take out of the mix altogether?
Yep.
And what are the balls that I can drop for a season, knowing that I will pick it back up again and it will be fine?
Yeah.
But let's not drop those glass balls, those things that are actually going to cause long-standing and have percussions that we might not recover from.
That is such good stuff, and especially as we're heading into this busiest of season. And hey, like you say, maybe we don't have time for a full inventory reset between now and Christmas Day, but wonderful to do so over the summer holidays. In fact, there's a fantastic resource that Family Life offer. My wife and I have used it many years in a row now, where it allows you to put your priorities in place, to take some time out in amongst the summer break, to get some time away from the kids if you can, but to prioritize different areas of your life. That's a wonderful resource available on the Family Life website. Thoroughly recommend that to anyone.
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out, Andrew. And that's called First Things First. But I just want to take a moment as we just wrap up our time today and just say that maybe some of our listeners today have dropped this glass ball of marriage and relationship. The good news, and this is what I believe as a Christian, is the gospel. It is the hope that God is the God who puts broken things back together again.
Yeah.
And I just want to say to everyone listening today that may have dropped the ball in your marriage or in your family, there is hope. There is hope. And the message of the gospel, the message that we believe, which is that Christ died and he was raised to life again. Maybe you feel like things have fallen apart, but there is hope. And this is the hope we celebrate through Christmas, is the fact that the Savior of the world was born and he knows how to put broken things back together again.
Yeah.
So maybe there are some of you listening today that need to actually say, hey, God, I'm sorry. I've messed up. I've made a mess of my life. Would you help me put things back together again? And there is hope.
Super good stuff, and a wonderful message of hope for this Christmas season and any time of year. Wynand, thank you so much for what you and the team do. Of course, familylife.nz for more information about that work, including the First Things First resource. But hey, thanks for joining us on the program today.
Thanks, Andrew.
Hey, thanks very much for joining us in the Rhema studio. Thanks very much for watching the interview. It's kind of nice to have an audience, actually. And if you did like what you watched, then do give us a like, do give us the thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more interviews like that one, or perhaps even better, subscribe and those interviews will come straight to you. Don't forget to turn on your notifications, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.